right, so we are recording now. So for tonight, we will be touching on a few things that I think are very important and very key for every person listening, whether you're new, whether you've been in a while and just haven't fully plugged in, or whatever the case may be. So tonight we're going to talk about the Fusion Trader a little bit. I'm going to pull up some information that we all have access to being part of Our Markets Live, so that when you're looking to get a Fusion Trader or you want to help someone else sign up for a Fusion Trader, you have a few places to go look to help you make an educated decision on who actually you want to pick. And then also, I'm going to briefly touch on pips, lot sizes, because a lot of people have questions about that. And then I'm going to also talk about proper risk management. So those are some of the things I want to talk about. So that's why this call is called Forex for Beginners, because it's for the person who is still getting it or who have just signed up. Some of you on here may have been in for a while, and like I said, may not have every piece together. So hopefully what I share with you guys today is going to help, connect the dots in some areas. And like I said, you are able to post your Q&A. So I will be checking it as we go along with regards to any questions that you have. I'll make sure that I go through and answer those questions. So bear with me while I share my screen. We're going to go ahead and get started. I am going to cut off my camera just to, just because. All right, hold on one second. Okay, so what you see right now is imlfusiontrader.com. Okay, so this is where you can actually go. This is where you go to actually set up your Fusion Trader. But this is also where you want to go and where you want to take people who are looking to get started. So let me actually go back so I can make sure I show you exactly where to go. So if you see, I'm going to imlfusiontrader.com. So this is actually your home page. And if you scroll through, as I'm scrolling, you can see different things. So make sure you write this website down, imlfusiontrader.com. This is where you go to get all the information that you have, that you need or that you want where the Fusion Trader is concerned. Also, you can see you set it up. You also come here to see the specs, so you can determine who you want to actually plug into. So in order to see who you want to plug into, right at the top, the option that says traders, if you click on traders, it's going to take you to all the Fusion Traders. Now, I'm not going over this tonight, but as you know, we have two types of mirror traders, ones that are a little bit more aggressive, which is our Fusion Traders, and a little more conservative, which is our auto traders. So if you're interested in the auto trader, you could do the same thing by going to fxsignalslive.com. And I will type that in the chat so you can see that. So let me type that in here really quick for you all. fxsignalslive.com. So for those who didn't know, we actually have two different types of mirror traders. And as I mentioned, so you have two different places to go. So tonight we're specifically talking about our Fusion Traders, but you may be like, I want to be a little bit more conservative, not as aggressive. Let me take a look at your auto traders. So that's what FX Signals Live comes into play. So whichever one you go to, you're going to click on the traders option. And what will happen is that the system will pull up all of the traders that are currently available to you through Our Markets Live. Now, if you look here where I am, it shows you the traders. It'll show you their gain, and it'll show you the amount of pips. So their gain in dollars, and convert that to how many pips they actually have gained since they have connected to Our Markets Live. One of the things that you want to make sure that you are aware of is that even though it may say they started at this time, that doesn't mean they've been actually trading for people in IML. But what happens is the company back test them. So they allow them to trade on the server behind the scenes to, see their style and how they flow to determine if this is a trader that they want to make available to all of us at Our Markets Live. So I just want to make sure that's clear. So as you scroll through, you'll see the traders like Zeus and Darth Trader and Optimus Prime. The thing that you want to pay attention to, you may be a person that's a high risk trader. You're like, I want to go in, I want to go hard. So the letters next to their gain in dollars is actually telling you if they're low, medium, or high risk. So of course the M for medium, the L for low, the H for high. Okay. And so when you look at this, let me scroll back up a little bit so you can see here where you see gain in pips. Okay. When you see gain and pips, you'll see, for example, Zeus. Since Zeus has connected with IML, Zeus's account has grown $1,600. That's a total of 2,700 pips that Zeus has gained since connecting. So this is like where you can get the basic screenshot of what is actually happening, what is actually taking place with regards to the auto traders. Now, one of the things that you want to do with that, though, is to go a little bit more in detail. And the reason I'm doing this is because a lot of times people have questions and a lot of times people don't know. And so I think this is very important, especially, for all of us to make sure that we are placing our money in the right places and placing our money in a place that's comfortable. Because, for example, Optimus Prime is a high risk trader, and I would be doing someone in disservice by just saying plug in the Optimus Prime because he's good. But that person may not be necessarily comfortable with high risk trading as of yet. And so you want to make sure that you present them with these different options here to be able to decide for themselves. So this is what they're going to look for. So I'm going to just kind of give you an example. Let's go to, this is one I like, Yoda. Yoda is a new trader. He's actually a low risk trader. But since he's connected, he's grown his account by $718, which is really good. And that's 7,040 pips. So to go more in detail on Yoda, what you'll do is just click on him. And as you can see, Yoda has been trading behind the scenes. Trading will actually start on August the 14th. And this is actually real money. So once you go here on this chart, it shows you the growth. Okay. So you can click on any given day and it'll say they traded 0.53 lots, an equity growth of 10.85%, a balance growth of 10.85% for that day. So that's super strong. Okay. And so you're actually able to go and click and see what kind of growth they had on any given day since they've been connected with the company. Now, performance details. This is the part that's really key because it gives you the full overview of that particular auto trader. So, for example, here, Yoda, we're showing the growth has been 14.36% on the account, which is on average 0.64% daily compounded growth. Keep that number in mind because I'm getting ready to show you something else that you're able to use for people. So 0.64% daily growth, okay, which is really good because a lot of people who put money in a savings account may get less than 1% for the year, okay? And so keep that number in mind. It's also telling you that compound monthly growth is about 14.36%. So it's showing us now this is a real live account with real money. So it's showing that the initial balance was $5,000. The current balance is $5,718.09. So it's showing that the account has grown by $718 that we saw before on the other screen. And then it's showing the current equity right now is $5,648.63. So basically current equity means with the trades that he has in right now, if he was to close all those trades right now, his account will go from 5,700 to 5,600. So the equity is constantly floating and moving depending upon how long you keep trades in. And so basically, one of the other things that you really want to pay attention to is the drawdown. You want a very low drawdown. That's extremely important. So like if you are trading and you know your drawdown is like 30%, 40, 50%, that's not really good. But Yoda actually has a great drawdown of like 1.99%, so roughly 2%. So that's extremely important. So that's something that you also want to be taking a look at as well, okay? And so as you keep going through here, it's just giving you that information. Now, also make note that the leverage. I talked about this morning. You want to make sure that with your leverage, so when you set your account up initially, anybody that set up a live or demo account, you know, when you set up, they ask you what you want your leverage to be: 1 to 50, 1 to 25, 1 to 100, 1 to 1,000, 1 to 200, whatever that is. You want your leverage to match or exceed the auto trader. And the reason for that is, in the event that the market doesn't do what it needs to do, the drawdown gets high. If your leverage is smaller than the leverage of the auto trader, your account won't be able to stand the trades that they have in. And so you could end up blowing your account or losing your account because, you know, you got 1 to 50, but that auto trader has 1 to 200. And so their account is able to handle the drawdown for the turnaround, but then yours isn't. So this is also important. You want to make sure that you match theirs or exceed theirs, okay? All right, let's see. So this is also important with the trading metrics. It's telling us that Yoda has actually done 331 trades. The winning percentage is about 96.98%. So roughly 97% wins. That's huge, okay? So that's something else you want to walk through and show people what to look for, okay? So like I said, the drawdown is important. You want to see their winning percentage. You know, don't necessarily just pay attention to, oh, he made $7,000 in 30 days. But if his drawdown is huge, that's very risky. So you just have to kind of see that person's level of risk. And so it's important to be able to understand these things so that you can explain or help them understand the ins and outs of the particular traders, because while they may make a lot, in order for you to make a lot, you may be having to risk more. Or if you want a steady growth with a little drawdown, then you may want to go with someone else. So that's extremely important with regards to that. So I wanted to make sure that I go over that. So let's go back really quick because I want to show you something else, and we're going to come back to this. Let me go back up. Okay, so one of the things that you can also do, let me go back. It took me back here. Okay. One of the things that you could also do, which is super powerful, is with every auto trader, you have the option to do a simulation. So basically what a simulation does for you and for a person you're sharing with is to show them, okay, if you were to start your account when this trader started their account and you mirrored this trader, based off of how much money you put in, based off of what your lot size is, this is how your account would have grown. So let's click on simulation just to kind of show an example. So the average account size that most people do is $500. So let's just say you did a $500 account with a penny lot size, which is 10 cents a pip. So this is going to show you if you started your account the same time Yoda did with just $500, your account growth would be 123%, and your account balance would now be $1,115.16. So it would be up in profit $615 from when you started. So that's pretty huge. So one of the things I do like to show people is that that's what have happened if this account was started at the exact same time. So it goes back historically to say, had you been connected at this time. But I like to go a little step further to show people. So remember, when I told you to keep in mind that 0.64, which was the average percent daily growth on the account. So here's something else I do. Let me go to this screen, and you want to write this down. I go to compounddaily.com, and it's only one D. The D in compound and the D in daily are shared. So compounddaily.com. So when I go here, I can show them, okay, if you started with $500 and you did an average of 0.64% per day starting now, because that is what he's averaging, about 0.64% a day. And you want to look at what could your growth be for the year. you want to put in 261 days. The reason you want to put in 261 is because the traders don't necessarily trade on the weekends. So we're getting rid of the weekends. Okay. So even though it's 365 days in a year, we don't trade all 365. So this is, and I did a 100% daily reinvest, because this is contingent upon you putting that money in there and just letting it grow every day, not touching it or anything. So then when you calculate, let me calculate it. Okay. So it shows you, like, with just 0.64%, $500 will grow into $2,642.83 if you never touched it. Some people say that doesn't seem like a lot, but that's really a big deal. If you have a savings account with $500 in it, after a year, you might have $502 or even $515, but not $2,600. So this is a good place to go to show them, you know, the simulator on the website shows you what would have happened if you took all the trades up to that point. But this kind of shows you what you could potentially see if this trader stays on track with this percentage of daily growth. And so let's just kind of go back really quick, because I want to show you another example just to kind of show you. So that was Yoda is like a low risk trader. Okay. So here we go. Let's go back really quick. And I'm about to switch gears here. I just want to kind of give you guys this little foundation. Hope this is good for you guys. Okay, so let's go back to IML Fusion Trader. Okay. The simulation on the Fusion Trader is like, I'll show it to you again. Once you go to traders and you actually pick a trader. So let's pick Zeus. When you scroll to the bottom here, right under performance details, you see simulation there. Okay. So since I have Zeus here, let me go ahead and pick the performance of Zeus. And let's see. See, Zeus's drawdown has been about 26%. Yeah, it's been about 26%. And the daily growth of Zeus has been about 1.38%, roughly 33% a month. So that's good, because Yoda was at 14% a month. Zeus is at 33% a month. But even with that 33% growth, you see that drawdown is a lot higher. Yoda's was only 2% roughly, and this one is like 27%. So those are things you want to pay attention to. Okay, so the compound daily growth average for this particular trader is 1.38%. Zeus, I forgot who I was looking at. 1.38%. So let's do another simulation with this real quick, just so I can show you. And then I'm going to show you this last thing, and then we're going to switch gears. If you have questions, definitely make sure you're posting those questions, and I'll be happy to answer them as we go. If I need to go back over anything, let me know. Okay, so Zeus is here. So we're going to look at Zeus starting with $500 as well. Let's click on simulation. We're going to do $500 with a penny lot size. Okay. So, let me see, 500 penny lot. So Zeus is averaging like 10% growth since he's connected. So right now to be roughly about $53 that's grown on that account. Now, as you increase your lot size, because you may say, I want a 0.05 lot. So you could play around with this and see what that potentially could be. So that's how you play here and there. So as I stated, with this one, it was 1.36. Let me get that number. So Zeus itself, Zeus right now is doing an average of 1.38% daily growth. So let me go back to compound daily real quick. And I'm just trying to show you a few examples. So as you see it, you're able to, you know, kind of get it. All right. So we're going to change this to 1.38. 1.38% and calculate. Okay. So 1.38%. So if you started with Zeus with $500 for a year, okay, you start for a year, 1.38% a day, that account could grow potentially to $17,000 in a year. And that's with continual growth. So as you can see, even though I put 261 days, it just says because of weekends and holidays, the number of days your money was actually at work is 365. Okay. So what is a drawdown? So basically what drawdown is, it's like if you see your account going deeper and deeper in the negative, a lot of times it goes back into your original investment. So like, let's just say you started with $500, you throw some trades in, you hit profit, but then these other trades are in, and now your equity is showing, now it's showing your equity at like 300 something. So you've really drawn down into your initial investment. The goal is to, get profit. And even if you have some negatives out there, that you don't really go deep into what you initially invested. With regards to a good percentage, honestly, I personally think 10 to 15 or less is ideal. I would love even just 5, but it varies from person to person, because some people feel like they can handle it, and the drawdown is there, but I know it's going to turn around, and I know it's going to go back up, or whatever. So it just really depends on a person's level of risk as to what's an ideal drawdown, a good drawdown. But getting into the 30 and 20%, all of that is not really cool to me. That can make people have panic attacks. Okay, so that is what I wanted to touch on with regards to that. I do see some Q&A, so let me stop and answer some of these. Let's see. Okay, let's see. I got the drawdown question. It'll be posted in the Telegram groups for the recording. I'll look at Optimus Prime, yes. Let's see. I won't necessarily be going over the scanner today. I'll touch on a few things where the scanner is concerned. Let's see. So with regards to the lot size, right now you're able to do your own multiplier, or you're able to pick your lot size based on how much money you have in there. So you don't necessarily copy their lot size because their account is a lot bigger than yours. You're basically copying the trades that they pick. Based off your account will determine what your lot size can actually be. So for example, let me pull this up and show you this really quick. You can see here, let me find it. Okay. You can see here that based off of the trader that you pick, based off if you're doing high risk or low risk, you can only do like a penny lot per $1,000 or per 500 or per 100 or 800. Okay, so that is what you determine that off. So they may do a trade and have a lot size of 0.06, but based off your lot size, yours may be 0.01. So the system does let you somewhat customize that so that you're able to do that. It's not really a definite on how long drawdown can actually last. It just depends. Like, for example, if a trade goes in at a support zone and that's going back up, it depends on if the market's going to break that resistance, or if it's going to hit resistance and come back down. It's so many factors that can play into that. I've seen drawdowns last months, so, and then I've seen some just a couple of days. So it's really hard to say drawdown will last X amount of time. All right, so let's see if let's see. Okay. All right, cool. So let's keep it moving. One of the next things that I really wanted to talk about, because a lot of people had questions on, is dealing with risk management. Risk management is definitely important. Okay, So let's go back. We talked about the Fusion Trader because that is one of the services that you can use and allow the company to use their mirror traders to trade for you. Now, it's a lot of you on the line that are actually a lot of people on the line who actually trade on their own, whether they're using a harmonic scanner or whether they're using the swipe trades. And so in order for you all to effectively use that, I want to make sure that you understand the basics with proper risk management. And in order to be effective with your proper risk management, you want to make sure that you actually understand lot sizes and understand pips. So I am going to touch on that just a little bit. I'm going to give you some basics. It's going to be fast, but it's going to be good, and I believe you'll get it. But of course, ask me questions if you have any questions where that is actually concerned. Okay, so let's see here. Pull up my screen. Just 1 second. So we're going to actually start with the lot sizes. Okay, so I've seen a lot. And let me zoom in for you guys. Okay, so I've seen a lot where people may be on social media and be like, I turned a penny into $10 or whatever. Okay, when you do that, it makes you look a little uneducated. And so I was like, I really got to talk about this because I want to make sure that even as we're posting and as we're learning, the basic stuff that you're supposed to learn on IML Academy and IML TV when you first start, we got to make sure that you guys know that and understand that. So this particular document, and I can post this in our Telegram chats if you all want it after we're done. This breaks down the true value of a lot size, okay? So when you trade 0.01, that's mean you're trading 10 cents a pip, okay? That's a micro lot, okay? 0.10 is not 10 cents, but that means you're trading $1 per pip. That's a mini lot, okay? So you have micros, minis, and then you have standards. Standards are here. 1.0 lot or 1.00 lot or however you write it is $10 per pip, okay? So make sure that you understand that. That's extremely important. So basically all you're doing is moving your decimal place 2 places and it changes to the dollar amount. So 0.01 move it. Actually, I'm sorry, 1 place. And it tells you 0.01 is 10 cents, 0.02 is 20 cents, 0.03 is 30 cents. 0.10 is $1. 0.40 is $4. So make sure, and I'm going to zoom back out. You can take a screenshot of this if you want to, but I'll also make sure that I also make sure that I post this. So post this up somewhere, kind of get acclimated to this. That's very straightforward. Lot sizes converted to amounts, okay? Got it. Now, the next thing that I want to show you guys is pips. So I'm going to show you how to basically calculate pips. It's pretty simple, pretty easy. If you try to look it up online, it could be very complex and confusing. So I'm going to make a major attempt to make it as simple as possible. Now, one of the first things that I want to show you, and a lot of people didn't know this, I figured this out from some research that I was doing, but if you are on your MetaTrader 4 app, okay, if you are on your MetaTrader 4 app, those big numbers you see are the actual pips, okay? So these big numbers right here, those are your pips, okay? So you may see different pairs. So if you pay attention and you look at Euro USD, you see the 2 big numbers are the 3rd and the 4th digit. If you look at USD JPY, you see the big numbers are the 1st and 2nd digit. Okay, so that's what you're paying attention to. So every time a pip is moved, that's when you make money. That little number is a pipette. So it's almost like microseconds to a second or seconds to a minute. So that rolls and then as that rolls, a pip is created every time that pipette, you know, hits that 10 mark, okay? So with that being said, let me erase that. Bear with me 1 second. I want to show you how to actually calculate pips. I meant to pull some examples of some signals from swipe trades, but I actually ran out of time. But let's do some calculations. So we're going to look at Euro USD. It's at 1.1765. Okay, here we go. Okay. Oops, sorry. Give me 1 second. Let me erase that. Sorry for my handwriting, you guys. Okay, so I made the number big so that you can see the pip, okay? So these two big numbers are the pip. So let's just say this is your actual entry point, okay? So let's just say your stop loss is going to be 1.17. I'll make on number 34. 1.17. And we're going to do 34. I promise you guys my handwriting is a lot better than this in real life. Okay. So what happens is if you have an entry point and they give you a stop loss or they give you a take profit, what you want to do is do the math between those two to actually see the difference. So when you do the math here, you do 5 minus 4 is 1, 6 minus 3 is 3, and those are all zeros. Okay? So remember, these two big numbers are the pips. So when you do the math, that's telling you that's a 31 pip difference. Okay? So what does that mean? If we go back and look at lot sizes, the 31 tells you how many pips. The lot size you actually pick tells you how much money you make. So every single one of us on this line tonight can do the exact same trade, but our lot size will determine how much money we make. So remember, so we're at 31 pips. So let me delete this for space purposes. All right, let's delete this for space purposes. Okay, so we are at 31 pips. Okay, now if you have and I'm going to change colors on here. Okay, so if you do a 0.10 lot, remember, somebody type in 0.10 lot equals how many pips? I'm sorry, not how many pips, but what is that in dollars? Somebody tell me what's that in dollars? Anybody know? Perfect. Thank you. Okay, y'all got it. Y'all got it. $1. Okay. So that means that equals $1. Okay. So what does that mean? That means if you put this trade in with a 0.10 lot, that means that you made $31. Or if this was a stop loss, that means you lost $31. Now, perfect. If I do let's say we do let me pick another lot size. Y'all, excuse my writing on here, like seriously, I'm so embarrassed. Okay, so let's just say you did a lot size of let's switch it up a little bit. Your lot size is 0.24 lot size. How much is that per pip? Excellent. Excellent. Okay, I see y'all. $2.40 per pip. $74.40 that you would make or lose depending on if you're on the right side. So, okay, so you get it. So that makes sense. So that's what you want to be looking at when you get a particular trade from the harmonic scanner. If you get a particular trade from, let me see, harmonic scanner, from swipe trades, you want to take the entry point that they're giving you, and you want to do the math between the entry point and your take profit. You want to do the math between your entry point and your stop loss. Okay? And that's where it goes into what I'm briefly going to talk about is proper risk management. Okay? So bear with me. I'm going to erase this really quick. All right, cool. So basically when it comes to the whole concept of proper risk management, and I'm going to try to write this as neat as possible. All right. Okay. So your entry, let's just say, and I'm making these numbers up. I don't even know what pair it is, but I'm just going to throw some numbers to kind of give you an example. And if you have paper there, I want you to do the math and tell me these answers. Okay. So let's just say your entry is, why is my, okay, here we go. Hold on one second. Oh, there we go. 1.72, I deleted it, I'm sorry. There we go. 7268. Okay. Your take profit is 1.7304, and your stop loss is 1.7254. Okay, so based off of just this information, can somebody tell me if this signal is a buy or a sell? And why? Okay, I'm seeing both buys and sells, but I see Erica. She gave me what I was looking for. The take profit is higher than the entry. So that's what you want to pay attention to. Because if you get something, you know, that's what you pay attention to. So remember, wherever you're entering, if your take profit is higher, then it's a buy, because that means you want it to go up to that point. If the take profit is less, then it's a sell. So excellent job answering that. All right, perfect. Okay, here we go. Now, when it comes to proper risk management, make a note of this. You never want to risk as much as you're going to stand to gain. So if you do the math between these and it says, I'm risking 15 pips to make 16, that's not a good trade. If it says I'm risking 15 to make 45, that's a great trade. You know, if it says I'm risking 15 to make 30, it's all right, you know. But that's what you want to look at. So when you start getting those signals from harmonic scanner and all of that, you don't have to take those trades just because they're there. The key is for you to be able to start doing your own due diligence in order to see, okay, is this a good trade? Like, you don't have to get caught up in the hype and feel like I gotta trade every trade that comes through. You know, this is enough of minimal analyzation that you can do to kind of see what should be next for you where that's concerned. So let's do some simple math real quick. Somebody tell me, what is the difference between the entry and the take profit? Okay, good job. Okay. So yeah, so we're going from 268 to 304. Okay. So that is 36 pips. Perfect. So that's 36 pips. Okay. And then from the entry to the stop loss is how many pips? Perfect. All right. Okay. So now with that being the case, in this particular trade, you're risking 14 to gain 36 pips. So it's not the perfect scenario, but it's ideal. I mean, it's not ideal, but it's a big enough gap for you to decide I'm willing to risk that or I'm not willing to risk that. Okay. So this is what you look for to decide if you want to enter that trade. So once you determine what the pip count is between that, so I'm risking 14 pips to gain 36, then you're able to go back and say, okay, what do I want my lot size to be? Now, there are different things that you can utilize in order to determine what your lot size should be, or you could just basically do simple math. Please make note, I don't recommend risking more than 1 to 3% of your account per trade, okay? So you don't want to just randomly throw lot sizes out there. There is an app that I use called Lot Size Cal. It is, thanks, Solomon. It's very cool because it customizes it specifically for you. You're able to put in the currency that you're trading, how much you're going to risk based off of this. So we will put 14 in because we're risking 14 pips. You put your account balance. You put the percentage you want to risk on the trade. Let's just say 3%. And then when you do the math, it says, okay, for a 14 pip stop loss risking 3%, your account lot size needs to be XYZ. So I'm going to see if I could actually pull up an example of that. So bear with me 1 second. I'm going to unshare my screen to see if I can pull that up. I know I can't actually pull the exact app up right now, but let me see if I can do something different. So bear with me 1 second. And I'm going to try to answer some of these questions. The name of the app is called Lot Size Cal. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Yes, to explain how to identify when to buy and sell again. Generally, when you get signals through swipe trades, they tell you to buy or sell. But like on the harmonic scanner web version, it doesn't specifically say buy or sell. So what you want to pay attention to is where the take profit is in conjunction to the entry point. So if your entry point is at 1 and your take profit is at 12, that means you need to go up. So that lets you know it's a buy. You need to go up in order to get to that take profit. If your entry point is 12 and your take profit is 1, that means you need to go down to get to that point. All right. Now, can you explain what stop loss is and how we know if we should choose that option? Basically, stop loss is a protective measure to keep you from blowing your account. Honestly, some higher risk traders don't necessarily use stop losses. I do 75% of the time. So it just depends on you. Like if you are really antsy and like I'm nervous, I recommend using stop losses. Honestly, until you have really, I'm not going to say even mastered, but gotten a little bit more comfortable, with the concept of especially using proper risk management as far as like, not overdoing it with the lot sizes and things like that. I definitely recommend, using stop losses as much as possible. Now, the awesome thing about using what I was just showing you as far as the math and, all of that, you're able to say, I'm risking 14 pips to gain 36. So that means if I do a 10-cent lot, the most I'll lose is 14, but I'll gain 36. So it puts you at freedom of having to stare at your phone all day. Now, if you put a take profit, but you don't do a stop loss, you don't know how much you're going to lose, because you don't know what the market's going to do. It's like you don't put any protective measures in place to where you can say, I know if this market goes beyond this point, I'm just going to take a L for $10. Whereas if you don't do a stop loss and you're not looking at your phone, and you come back to your phone and that thing has already fell like 50 pips and you down like $70, it's a whole lot of factors that could play into that. So some of our higher risk traders are, people who do more high risk. They tend to, not use stop losses. So it's totally, up to you. But in the beginning, I do recommend it. But then there's a lot of people that get discouraged if they, you don't know how many calls I get, and they're like, I lost $6, and I'm like, I mean, it's part of the game. It's not really a game, but just, I couldn't think of another word to say. But yeah, so it's pretty much your recommendation or your suggestion or whatever you want to do, where that's concerned. Someone asked, oh yeah, thanks. So Erica put up the MyFX book, Forex calculators position size. This is something good too. Also, I actually have MyFX books downloaded on my phone, and I use that as well. So let me share this one. I haven't used this one before, but I'm gonna try to share it and see if I can show you guys how to use it. They're all pretty much similar. So let me pull that up really quick. And I'm going to try to wrap this up in the next 10 minutes, you guys. I don't want to keep you too long. Okay. So basically, with the position calculator, you put your currency. So if you're on this line and you're in the United States, you put USD. If you live in one of these other countries, Canada, Europe, Great Britain, New Zealand, whatever, you put your account currency. And then you put your account size. So let's just say my account size is $1,000. Okay. And then your ratio basically is saying how much you want to risk on a trade. So like I said, 1 to 3%. So I'm going to do 3%. And then your stop loss in pips, let's just say 14. And then the currency pair, let's leave it at Euro USD. And then you're going to calculate. Wait on it to update. So it's telling me, based off a $1,000 account, I'm risk out for 3%. That means I will risk $30. And then it tells me my lot should be 0.214. But in my case, I would just put 0.21. You can't necessarily do the third number. So I would do 0.21 as my lot. And so what that means is when I put this trade in, if I put that exact trade that I had up on the screen in with the 14 pip stop loss with 3%, the most I would lose is $30 on the trade. And so it's really just that simple. And so, whatever pair you're trading, you just go here and I pick the Great Britain pound, and you calculate, and it's the same thing. So as you can see, based off the pair determines your lot size, because when I change it to the Great Britain pound Japanese yen, I still left it at a 14 pip stop loss, 3%. It's telling me that my lot size should be 0.234 instead of 0.214. And so this is really, very helpful because it does a lot of that for you. I definitely recommend, Inez, that you do enter take profits, because take profits and stop losses are ideal, because unless you're sitting at your computer all day staring, they put those measures in place to pull you in and out of the market. To pull you in and out of the market. I'm gonna post the link here, and it's with my FX book. I'm posting the link again that Erica posted. Thank you so much for that. I appreciated it. Okay, so that's what you really look at with regards to that's what you look at with regards to the proper risk management. If you can really master the lot size, calculating your pips to determine, risk to reward. Ideal risk to reward, I would say, is like, maybe risking. Okay, I'm sorry, I was reading some of the questions. I wouldn't risk $50 to gain $50. I would risk $50 to gain $200, or So you kind of got to decide what that looks like. But if you're risking to gain the same amount that you're risking, it's not necessarily a good trade. I would say at least 2 to 3 times what you're risking in order to gain would be an ideal scenario. Okay. As far as a beginner session for the harmonic scanner, that has been asked a whole lot. So I guess I need to do one. If I'm not traveling this weekend, I'll push to do one on Saturday. So let me figure some things out, and I will definitely post that, because a lot of people are wanting that, and I see your comments. So I definitely will work on committing to getting, a training done for you all with that as well. You're welcome. Okay, let me see. What does it mean when a trader does a swap? I'm not really sure what you mean as far as a swap. Now, the only thing I know with regards to swap that you may be talking about is if you look in your MetaTrader 4 and you have trades in, and then when you're looking at that particular trade to see what commissions came out and stuff like that, and you see a swap. Basically, a swap happens if you stay in a trade from one day to the next. So we are in a different time zone than the actual Forex market. So the day switch over happens roughly about 4 p.m. Central, 5 p.m. Eastern, okay? So let's just say you're in a particular trade and you don't close out that trade before the day ends around 4 or 5. When the market flips, the broker charges you for carrying it over. So that's where a swap fee comes into play, okay? All right, so that's all that I have. I'm getting ready to try to scroll through some of these questions to see if I've answered everything. Okay, as far as the minimum investments for the fusion traders, let me pull that up again really quick so you can see this. It varies ranging from $100 up to $1,000 based on the actual fusion trader that you choose to go with. So I'm gonna pull this up and we're gonna repost this as well so you can see this in the groups. So as you can see, Optimus Prime is the one that requires the most, $1,000. And then like Yoda and Explosive and Darth Trader are $100. And the other ones are roughly $350 to $500. Alrighty. So let me go to my next questions that we have. Alrighty, let me scroll. The training will be posted in the actual Telegram groups, and I'm going to actually upload it to my YouTube channel for you to have access to as well, so it'll be posted there. As far as the suggested use of stop loss for auto traders, some people, you can set your stop loss to 30, 50, or whatever, but honestly I just let mine do whatever the auto trader is going to do. But yeah, some people do a 25 pip stop loss and some do 30. So that's a good number if you absolutely positively want to do that. So let's see. Okay, I got that question answered. And sorry, you guys, I'm really going to try to get y'all out of here, but I don't want to leave y'all questions unanswered. Can I trade on Fusion Trader or only in MetaTrader? So basically with your Fusion Trader, you can connect your Fusion Trader to your MetaTrader app so you can see it. I do not recommend trading in the same account that the Fusion Trader is trading in because the Fusion Trader cannot see what you're entering. And so if you're entering trades while the Fusion Trader is entering trades, that can mess up your drawdown and your margin percentage and put you at risk of blowing your account. So you don't want to do anything with the Fusion Trader. If you want to trade yourself as well, you want to set up a separate account and specifically just, do that. All right. I got that question answered. Okay, so someone said the stop loss does exactly what. The reason I'm asking, for some reason my stop loss is not working. I'm down 700. Okay, so I would probably need to see an example of what you're actually talking about. Um, because so basically a stop loss is designed to close you out of a trade if it gets to a certain point. So I don't know, like if you're down 700, if that's one trade, multiple trades, or what that looks like. Because if you have, let's just say, 6 or 7 trades open that total a negative $700, if you look at each individual trade, they may all have their own stop losses. So they're not working together collectively. Those individual trades are going to stay in until they hit the stop loss specific to that particular trade. Okay. So that is, in a nutshell, I would probably need to look at it to kind of see exactly what you're seeing so I could better explain it. But a stop loss is designed it's trade by trade. It's not like an overall. So it's trade by trade. So if I'm have a trade in for Euro USD and I enter that trade at 100 and I set my stop loss at 70, but right now it's at 80, it's going to stay in until it hits 70. But that doesn't keep me from being down a negative $100. It depends on what my lot size is. So the stuff I was just talking about with regards to lot sizes and things like that, that plays a role into how much from a dollar standpoint that you may potentially be in the negative. So if you want me to look at it further, you can actually look me up on Facebook or Telegram, Camille Westmoreland, and just inbox me. And then I can connect with you to take a look at that for you. Okay. So Erica said, I thought the PIP was the 4th digit. In essence, it is the 4th digit in most cases, but some pairs have different volumes and numbers. So let me pull this back up real quick to show you this real quick. Let's see. Here we go. Okay. So if you look here, of course, you see your Euro USD, GBP USD, USD CHF, how they all have four spaces plus the pipette. So the third and fourth space, that's your pip. But if you go down to USD JPY, you see it only really has 2 spots. So those 2 spots are their pips. So it just depends on the various setup of that particular currency and how, it's set. Anything. And that's what caused me to kind of do research, because I saw the 0.0001 is the pip. But then I started questioning, like, well, this doesn't have 4 spots, so how do you calculate? And so that's when I was able to actually come and see they blow up the actual pips. And so if you look at the Euro JPY, it's the same, scenario. So in essence, overall, it's supposed to be that 4th, but it's not necessarily the case 100% across the board. Let's see. My YouTube channel is also under my name, Camille Westmoreland. If somebody who knows me can type my name in, that would be great. Thanks. Alrighty, let's go back to some more of these questions. So I am going to eventually do a harmonic scanner training, looking at doing that possibly this weekend. Everybody pray. I'm going to really work on doing that because it's been asked a lot. Okay, let's see. We talked about drawdown. Honestly, it's not really a method you can use to keep your drawdown low if you're using a fusion trader. If you are trading on your own, it would be, that's going to come with time as you get, more savvy with entering trades at the right time, proper lot sizes, and, things like that. As far as a good leverage amount, it varies. Honestly, the bigger the leverage, the more you can trade, but the more you can lose. I normally start people off with 200 or less. Some people do 1,000, which is excessive, I think, because it just puts you out there a little more. Some people do 1 to 50, which I think is good. You know, it just causes you to be a lot more disciplined the smaller the leverage amount. Alrighty. So we got that part done. All right, you guys, I'm just trying to so iMarketsFusion.com, that's not where you get the broker account. You pick your own broker. There are a list of brokers on imlfusiontrader.com that you would actually go to see which ones you can actually connect to the Fusion Trader, but that's not actually where you go to set it up. So you have like JAFX, FX Signal, FX Choice, Traders Way. You know, those, you know, you can pick them from there and then just connect it. Alrighty. Okay, guys, I think I pretty much answered those questions that were out there. I hope this was really helpful for I hope it was really helpful for you guys. I am gonna work on a date within the next couple of days to do a harmonic scanner training. Um, so I guess we will wrap, and I'm gonna work on getting this video uploaded within the next 24 hours so that you all can go back and rewatch it, you know, and ask any questions that you have. You can also comment on the YouTube or, you know, anything like that. So I thank you guys so much for jumping on. We've been on for about an hour, and I hope you guys have a good night. Happy trading, and be looking out for some information from me in the next couple of days about the harmonic scanner training. Thank you guys. Have a good night.